From downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Major move. Detroit's new school board makes its first crucial decision impacting students for years to come. See who's set to lead the district.
Also, a petty burglary leads to a high-speed chase, but not before neighbors step in to try and take down the bad guy.
But first, Lapeer County sheriffs need you to be on the lookout.
It's only going to be a matter of time before we're talking about someone dying.
Someone is throwing rocks and bricks out of a speeding car, already striking 4 times. And we thank you for being with us for the news here at 11. Several drivers were forced off the road in the early morning hours on Sunday.
One of the victims describes the objects as a cantaloupe-sized rock or perhaps brick. Question tonight whether there are several people doing the same thing.
Let's get to Mara McDonald. She's live in Lapeer tonight. And Mara, this all went down over about a 2-hour period Sunday morning.
Kimberly, it sure did, and it went down in 2 spots. The one where I'm at right now, several of those attacks here. The other one about 13 miles away, potentially 2 different cars, but all doing the same thing, chucking big bricks and rocks about this size at oncoming cars. Greg Loudermilk was behind the wheel of his cab early Sunday morning with 2 customers here near Hazen, Oregon, when he saw it coming.
As they were getting closer, I actually saw an arm come out the window with about a cantaloupe-sized rock.
You can see the gouge marks from that rock and a crater in the door.
It actually sounded like I had got hit, and it hit with such force that it actually moved the cab to the side.
Loudermilk says it was a white sedan, likely an Impala or Malibu, and the arm throwing it was male and white, and likely late teens or early 20s. In that same early hour time period, 3 other cars experienced the same thing with heavy damage. Those 3 were in the area of Baldwin and Sutton and Baldwin and Pratt.
The scary part is you got 2 cars traveling at 55 miles an hour. You got a 100-mile-an-hour projectile.
Sheriff McKenna tells us in the Baldwin Road cluster of cars hit, victims say it was a black car responsible. So, does he have 2 different groups on his hands riding around pulling this stunt? Tonight it's unclear, but he's got more cars out on the road patrolling, and he's putting out the word so everybody is aware.
Because it's only going to be a matter of time before we're talking about someone dying.
Back here live, the sheriff's concern is that this is some sort of a fad or prank. He doesn't want to see it take off. There was question about whether he should come out and go as strong on this, and he, for fear that perhaps there would be copycats. His whole attitude is people absolutely need to know what's going on. Kimberly Devin, back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Mara, does the sheriff think that this might really just be teenagers thinking that this is funny?
He does. He thinks that we're talking about late teens, potentially early 20s here, and whoever was in that white car that Loudermilk saw, not only was it a young arm, male arm, but that car had the light over the license plate burned out, and they are driving around with their brights on, refusing to turn them off. Yeah. Kimberly, back to you.
Okay, Mara, thanks.
Heading into a new day for public schools in Detroit, the school board has made its first major decision since being elected, and it voted to hire Nikolai Vitti as the district's first permanent superintendent. The board met at the Douglas Academy for Young Men to discuss the 2 finalists. Vitti is the current superintendent of Duval County Public Schools in Jacksonville, Florida. He beat out Derek Coleman, who's the superintendent right now of River Rouge. In the end, the decision turned out to be a unanimous vote.
We had 2 highly qualified candidates, and both of them with local roots. And in the final analysis, it was the will of the majority, overwhelming majority, that the Nikolai Vitti was their chosen candidate. Initially, my first choice was for Derek Coleman. However, it was important to send a message that we are unified, so I did change my vote to be for Nikolai Vitti. So we are one unified district.
We'll see what that unity does to a lot of public support for the current interim superintendent, Alicia Merriweather. If Vitti should accept the job, he would start on July 1st.
A quiet neighborhood gets louder when a burglar tries to take off with a leaf blower that doesn't belong to him. Well, that leads to a team effort to take him down and then a police chase. Jermont Terry is live in Livonia tonight with how this all happened, Jermont.
Kimberly, that driver led police on an 85-mile-per-hour chase right down 5 Mile here. But before running from cops, he first ran out of a neighborhood and that failed burglary where neighbors literally put him in a headlock. Kimberly Oak subdivision in Livonia is usually quiet.
Try to keep your garages open.
But Joe Williams isn't leaving his garage open after a thief ripped off his leaf blower.
Came around the corner and he just lifted it right out of the garage and took it right over to his car.
This all went down while Joe sat in his garage. This homeowner did not stand by and watch.
I got up and chased him to the car, and by then he was in the car, and I reached in the car, pushed him to the side, and grabbed the keys out of the ignition.
Unable to drive off, the thief tried to exchange his keys for Joe's gas blower.
So he set the blower down, and I turned around and launched the keys down the street.
Joe's neighbor saw the commotion.
So I tried to refrain the guy, tried to get him in a bear hug in the back and then a chokehold.
But the thief used those keys to get away.
He was poking with the key just because I had him in a headlock.
The thief and a woman drove off in the red car. Minutes later, police spotted that car in the parking lot. That's when the woman jumped out. The driver took off, leading police on an 85-mile-per-hour chase from Farmington to Levan on 5 Mile before officers ended the chase.
That they've seen him through the neighborhood before.
Now, it is believed that that same red, older model Mazda may have been casing out neighborhoods for some days. Of course, police ended the chase, so the driver got away. We should point out the woman that was dropped off in this parking lot here, she was arrested. However, according to police, she's not giving much information about the driver that she was riding with. Of course, if you know anything, or police just telling homeowners to really keep their eye open for that red Mazda that has some damage on the front end. For now, reporting live in Livonia, Jermont Terry, Local 4.
What a story. All right, Jermont. New tonight, a third person now behind bars in connection with the brawl in Greektown over the weekend. This video has gone viral. It shows a group of men kicking and dragging the victim in the street. 2 of the men arrested are from Inkster. A third now arrested in Warren. Police still looking for 5 others seen in the video. Chief James Craig says it appears an argument led to the fight. The victim has serious injuries and remains in the hospital tonight.
An incredible rescue on the river saves 2 lives. Around this time last night, a pregnant woman ended up in the Detroit River.
Pretty amazing stuff. Cell phone video shows Detroit police, Good Samaritans, and also even crew members from the J.W. Westcott mail boat all working together to pull her to safety.
I jumped in. I wrapped my legs around her.
Trying to hold the female up and hold himself up. When I saw him starting to struggle, I was trying to pull them up, but it was too far of a drop down. So that's why I decided to go into, because, he's going in, I'm going in type thing.
It wasn't even a second thought at all. I just knew what I had to do right away.
Wow. The woman was rushed to the hospital, had her baby delivered by C-section, and both the baby and mother are okay tonight. Still not clear how she ended up in the water in the first place.
Today, State Senator Burke Johnson pleaded not guilty to federal charges of conspiracy and theft. Prosecutors say he repaid a personal loan by putting a no-show employee on his payroll and funneling her the money he owed. However, Johnson's defense attorney says they can prove the employee did actual work. Johnson is free on a $10,000 bond.
Former President George H.W. Bush remains in a Houston hospital tonight. The 92-year-old was admitted on Friday for a persistent cough, and doctors determined he had a mild case of pneumonia. Spokesperson, though, says he's in good spirits, though he will remain at the hospital until he regains his strength.
Charges could be coming soon in the case of 2 officers shot while investigating a burglary.
We'll have a look at when the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office is planning on making their decision. Also, caught in the act, disturbing video showing a trio of arsonists up to no good. How they set a house and a vehicle on fire in just a minute. Ben?
Devin, temperatures going up, so are chances of storms. We'll see what time those are going to show up and what the weekend looks like coming up.
It's no longer just your cell phone. Thieves now want your cell phone number. In my Help Me Hank Scam Alert right after the break, we'll tell you why and also reveal what you should be doing to protect yourself.
Your cell phone number, not the phone itself, the new target for high-tech thieves.
People don't normally think that their phone number or their phone account can be hacked. They think about ID theft from the perspective of what data they have on their phone, but they don't necessarily realize that their account can be stolen.
Now Help Me Hank reveals how criminals are using your digits to create chaos and drain your bank account. Seems like nothing is safe anymore.
Yeah.
It's a growing problem affecting people all across the country and right here in Metro Detroit.
Consumer investigator Hank Winchester shows you how to protect yourself.
We've known for a long time that thieves have been trying to make off with people's iPhones, but now they want your cell phone number. And here's why. Your digits could ring up danger. Your cell phone number, now the hot item for high-tech thieves who are using it to steal from you and even to swipe your identity.
It was 6 days of nonstop aggravation, back and forth. I can't even tell you how many phone calls.
Tracy Jones learned the hard way how valuable her phone number really was. She called her phone carrier, T-Mobile, and learned someone pretending to be her imported her phone number to a new Verizon account, getting a prepaid phone and racking up a huge bill.
And while T-Mobile's saying, well, we're just doing what you requested, even though, no, it wasn't us, and then Verizon's just doing what they're told to do.
And it didn't just happen once.
Well, yeah, it makes you wonder. Of course it makes you wonder, because what were they going to do with it? What's the big deal? With all the millions and millions of phone numbers out there, what are the odds of, I get 3 of my phone numbers, or 2 of my phone numbers rather, hit 3 times in a week?
The big problem here, according to Tracy, is that Verizon allegedly allowed that number to be transferred. New accounts established, very few questions asked. The thieves are either using your phone number to run up high bills or to steal your identity. Just imagine if a bank or credit card company calls your number thinking it's you.
People don't normally think that their phone number or their phone account can be hacked. They think about ID theft from the perspective of what data they have on their phone, but they don't necessarily realize that their account can be stolen.
Melanie Ducanel with the Better Business Bureau here in southeastern Michigan says phone number hacking is just the latest way identity crooks are working to ruin your credit and your finances.
They'll get the iPad and the cell phone and the mobile Wi-Fi and start to really ramp that up. And as they build opportunity out of that, they'll also try to get personal identifying information and then create other credit accounts.
To protect yourself, make sure your security settings are up to date. Make it harder for anyone to transfer your number to a new account.
You can lock it down by putting a whole bunch of security codes in your account. Go to if you have a family plan, make sure everybody has a particular password or security code. Security questions are great. I'll use myself as the example. We have multiple security questions that rotate with our carrier.
Make it hard to hack. Don't let something like your phone number be used against you. It's also a good idea for you to check in with your cell phone provider. Ask them what security measures or tips they suggest to help you protect your phone and your phone number. I'm Hank Winchester. Help me, Hank.
Always something, isn't it?
Most of us aren't as tech savvy as the hackers, so we always feel like we're behind the curve almost by definition. It's tough. Here's a look at what Dr. Frank Me. George is working on for tomorrow night.
Donated organs are usually transported in an ordinary cooler like this, but that's changing. A local woman's new liver had a much different journey.
I was the first person to have this done, and I jumped on and I said yes.
I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Tomorrow night at 11, the breakthrough that could make more life-saving organs available and how this Waterford great-grandmother ended up being one of the first in the world to experience it.
Hope you got your taxes in today. Today was, now that you got that off your plate, you can think about nicer things ahead, right?
That's a great way to look at the
way I'm thinking about
the
it.
weather, yes.
I don't know why I didn't think of that. 70s tomorrow. How about that?
Oh, you can see?
Better than writing a check to the government.
No doubt about it.
We do have a little bit of activity showing up on 4 Live radar. It's very light, just a couple sprinkles. Most of those are falling apart as they move through southeast Michigan. But if we see a couple, it's generally going to be in our north zone and probably not going to last very long. Once you go out to the west part of the state, a little bit more activity. But again, we've got some drier air on our side of the state, so probably not going to see much of anything. Wednesday and Thursday, we're barely in the marginal risk for severe weather. Wednesday encompasses the south zone. This is a very outside shot. Thursday, I think, is probably a little bit better chance of seeing thunderstorms, and this is going to be on the east side and in the afternoon. So 2 days where we have that potential. But by the way, tomorrow at 1 o'clock, you're probably going to hear the sirens go off. This is only a test. It's the statewide tornado drill at 1 o'clock. So not only will the sirens go off, but if you got your weather radio properly programmed, you're going to get a tone. Just remember, this is only a test. Take 5 minutes and just think about what your plan is as we approach the peak of severe weather season here in Michigan. Looking back to the map, and we will be seeing chances of showers even before those afternoon thunderstorms roll in. Again, it's just going to be probably some garden variety showers across the area. 4 o'clock, that cold front for the most part is going to be well to the south. So if we see anything in our area, it's going to be around the south zone, most likely northern parts of Ohio. Better chances of rain as we get into the overnight hours towards Thursday morning. You'll see that kind of spread over as we get into Friday, or I should say Thursday morning's commute, and then generally dry through the day until we get this cold front in here in the afternoon. This is the area where we could be seeing those strong storms with that marginal risk for severe weather on Thursday afternoon. 50 degrees tonight. Skies are cloudy and will stay that way. Temperatures actually rising. We're pretty close to our morning lows. Overnight lows, we'll say, right now should be in the mid-50s or so as we start tomorrow morning. Look at the highs, low 70s here in our metro zone, maybe as low as 69 up there in the northwest section of Oakland County. Warmest temperatures down here towards the state line, mid-70s across the Lenawee and Monroe County. West zone, anywhere between the upper 60s and low 70s, and it's not going to be much cooler in our north zone. Some of our coldest temperatures are mid-60 degree highs up in Sanilac County, and we will see a string of 70s down here closer to M59. So 2 days in the 70s, 2 days with at least chances of thunderstorms, but Thursday will be the better shot, especially in the afternoon. Once we get into Friday, we dry out and we cool down. High temperatures mid to upper 50s, barely getting back to the 60s by the end of the weekend. Average highs this time of year at 60, so we're beating the odds the next 2 days, and we're a little bit below as we start out the weekend on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, let's already start thinking about that. That's fine. That's
Start thinking about that on Monday.
That's right.
All right, Ben, thank you. A truck flips after getting cut off by a car on a highway. Why both drivers are being blamed for the crash.
Also, fast food heroes, how they used an order of French fries to lead police to the Facebook killer. Next.
Your Toyota. The fugitive who recorded himself on Facebook killing an elderly Cleveland man was brought down today by his fast food craving. A McDonald's drive-thru employee in Erie, Pennsylvania, recognized Steve Stevens after he pulled up in his white Ford Focus and ordered chicken McNuggets and French fries. When she called police, while she called police, her boss held onto those fries, trying to stall him.
Basically just told him it was going to be a minute for his fries, which it wasn't really. We were just trying to make sure she got in contact with the state police, and he didn't want to wait for the fries, which was fine, but he took his 6-piece and didn't want any money back and headed out onto Buffalo Road, and about the minute he turned right on Buffalo Road, the state police was right behind him at that point.
Well, there was a brief chase, but that ended when Stevens shot and killed himself.
3 arsonists target a home and a van with Molotov cocktails. They were caught on the home surveillance cameras in the city north of Houston. One stood out as a lookout while another threw a Molotov cocktail at the door. Another threw one at the car, causing a fireball inside the vehicle. No one hurt, though. Still trying to figure out the motive for the attack.
A careless driver causes a semi to flip in the middle of a road in Atlanta. But tonight, both drivers are in trouble. You can see the silver car here suddenly slow down and try to turn across several lanes. It's hit by the oncoming semi, which lands on its side and spills chemicals all over the highway. The driver of the car was ticketed for improper stopping, but the semi driver was also cited because he was driving on a suspended license.
Detroit police have released new, rather chilling video of a robbery at a Family Dollar store.
Yeah, chilling indeed. It happened back in January on East Warren, and you can see here the 2 robbers holding a gun to the clerk's head. After she gives them money, they shoot her in the neck. The clerk survived, but police are still trying to track down those gunmen. A decision on charges is expected tomorrow in the shooting of 2 Detroit police officers. They were responding to a burglary on the west side when a man opened fire. One is recovering from injuries to his face, the other from a wound to his arm.
Well, you may not see her on our air anymore, of course.
But you will now hear Carmen Harlan when you're riding the Q line.
Welcome to the Q Line, now arriving at Montcalm Street.
She spent the day in the studio recording all the stops and instructions you'll hear while writing. You can hear her for yourself when the Q Line opens to the public May 12th. Less than a month, so I wonder if she says mind the gap.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great.
Yeah, her own signature line on it. That's
we used to
awesome.
say it, call it Carm. That's it.
Now she is.
We're right into it.